The music blends well in the emotional moments, as well as the action, who actually makes it looks a little bit more stylish this time than it normally does. So I can't really complain about that a lot. Although not really sacrifice, and I have a feeling this is not going to be completely permanent because let's face it, a guy, no, not a guy, but I mean a guy. What I mean by that is a person. That's what I meant to say for a guy in Fairy Tale. Never lose the magic too quickly. But then again, this was not a guy, and this was not in Fairy Tale. This was in Lamia scale. But either, yeah, the angry anime fan, the despair viewer, here to bring you a Fairy Tale final episode of episode 22. Last time, the Amara used takeover to summon the god of time, but Ultir's apparition told them that she could awaken the third stage, or Secondo origin, the third origin or something inside of them, which will grant them a more boost in order to defeat the Mara takeover, however at the cost of their magic. When the end Shelia was ready to do that. However, unfortunately, when this Dragon Slayer magic were not compatible, so Sheria sacrificed her magic and used the third origin, which also revealed that she would have really grown up into a very beautiful woman if she had just matured the magic. So sad music is played here as Wendy realizes that her best friend, although not dying, will probably never use magic again. As she also laments the fact that thanks to magic she met, Sheria laments that she met amazing people thanks to her magic and she'd been klutzy and doing nothing else. But she's thankful for who she is because that has no candle to love. As action-packed music is played again and she eventually overcomes the Mara takeover and finally defeats her. But at that, the third origin is gone and she lost her magic apparently. It's and here the music is really played very well. A combination of first of sad music, then action-packed music, and finally sad music again as Wendy can only cry. I had to say that scene is very good. And I didn't look through it completely in out of fear that I was gonna get too teared-eyed. But it's really a good emotional scene. Even the old Ultir who had sent her younger one in time feels like those two girls were strong. Back in the Fairytale Guild, however, things takes a turn for despair as suddenly in the doorsteps they meet Jacob Licio, the assassin of Spring and 12. A very ugly man with a skull marking in his forehead. That begins to talk of the fact that August is an amazing wizard of the Spring and 12 and he could use his magic to dampen the radio. That's why he suddenly has disappeared from the radio and he was there. He also begins to taunt the Fairytale Guild, who always say that if you're an assassin, then why do you show yourself in the opening? It is then that Jacob reveals the horrifying truth. His magic allows him to create, not exactly create, but he can hide things. And while that doesn't really look dangerous, he can even warp people to a different location. And so he wipes out the entire Fairytale Guild. Well, wipe out is a strong word, but he teleports them all into a dimension where they will slowly die, all except the first master, who is of course a ghost. However, because his magic is the power to make things vanish, disappear, and teleported into dimensions, he can actually detect um, Mavis and begins to torture her. But it's then the funny scene comes that Lucy comes to the rescue because she was downstairs with Natsu. And yes, she and Natsu was also supposed to be teleported. However, Lucy has Horglium, who automatically activates every time Lucy is in danger. Of course, with the sacrifice of the clothes. And then Nate scene. Even Happy says, fire dragons, but Lucy do not want to hear it. That scene when Lucy appears and giving the kick in Toro's form, I have to say that is very action packed. She changes to the Lucky suits as Jacob throws a knife at her, but this gets blocked by Natsu. Finally rested enough and up and going, he is ready to fight, and that is awesome. And indeed, he begins to fight Jacob, but Jacob has the upper hand in martial arts despite Natsu's prophilic abilities. So so Lucy calls in Loki in order to use his light power to show the invincible things he hides. But it's during this time that he pins down Natsu and begins to show that he can even use his invincible power to make clothes invisible, so that Lucy is only in her underwear and bra, much to Loki's delight. Unfortunately for him, Lucy closed the gate. But it's then it's revealed that the very ugly man is actually a very prudish man. He's probably a 40-year-old virgin or something like that, because he shows Lucy in those kind of clothing because he believes that Natsu will tremble and, well, just be no, no, don't do that. That is unfair. Of course, Lucy did not really like that. But Natsu is so used to seeing Lucy naked. In fact, all the females naked that he is not even sexually turned on, which creates that joke. Is the girls do not like when they get spied on when they're naked. But then suddenly the guys just say, "Well, we have seen you nude so many times, so honestly, we have lost the spark for it." Then they get mad by basically saying, "Oh, so we're not that attractive enough anymore." But it turns out that it works best on Jacob, who, well, is just a very shy on seeing female naked. So Natsu uses that to advantage to do a sucker punch as Lucy does a sucker kick. But of course, Jacob only get mad. But Mavis do find out something strange. She tried to find an idea how to stop Sereth, and according to her, she now knows how. I wonder what it could be. Can't really be that creative just by seeing a comedic scene by Jacob being shy and seeing Lucy naked. So yeah, this was an action-packed episode. I have to say the animation felt a little bit better here, and the music blended well in all the scenes. And I have to say I enjoyed it, even the emotion in it all. But again, I didn't look through it completely because I was afraid I was gonna get too teary-eyed. But I liked this episode. This was good. So yeah, but now they just have to overcome Jacob. But the Spring and 12 are being defeated. Hope is burning. Give me your thoughts if you have any.